We love you here in Thavwa. We love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In this bulletin, a close race in U.S. presidential election. NGOs urged to join a government job scheme. And $28 million in concessional loans.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Atera Lendua.
A quick look at the U.S. presidential election. Democratic challenger Joe Biden has a slender lead in the race for the White House with a projected 264 votes of the 270 needed to win. President Donald Trump, with a projected 214, has promised to ask the U.S. Supreme Court to weigh in on a race that is still too close to call. But the nation's top judicial body may not be the final arbiter in this election, legal experts say.
So we'll be going to the U.S. Supreme Court.
President Donald Trump, in the early hours of Wednesday morning, vowed to bring a case before the U.S. Supreme Court to weigh in on an election that is still too close to call, launching an extraordinary and unsubstantiated attack on the U.S. voting process.
This is a major fraud in our nation.
But legal experts say it's unlikely the top court will be the final arbiter in the 2020 presidential election. Reuters legal correspondent Jan Wolf.
There's this term that lawyers use called the margin of litigation in election law, this idea that the race has to be very close for a court to be able to tip it. And it's not clear at this point that we have that. In Bush versus Gore, it all came down to Florida, which was super, super close. Biden might win enough states that there's no way for Trump to litigate his way to victory.
We want all voting to stop.
For the Supreme Court to become involved in this election, there has to be some sort of serious legal argument for it to entertain. Let's stop vote counting early is not a serious argument. The Trump campaign has gotten the attention of the Supreme Court with an argument that in Pennsylvania, ballots that arrive after November 3rd should not be counted. For now, Pennsylvania is sticking with its plan to count those ballots, but 4 justices signal interest in potentially revisiting that later.
The Trump campaign on Wednesday said it had also filed a lawsuit seeking to stop the vote count in Michigan, a state where Democrat Joe Biden held a narrow lead. And Wolf says even more lawsuits could come.
I think we will see more litigation, but the Supreme Court as an institution is probably reluctant to decide this election. Chief Justice Roberts has shown a tendency to take the court out of political disputes when he can. He knows Bush versus Gore in 2000 hurt the court's legitimacy by making it seem political, with 5 Republican-appointed justices handing a victory to a Republican president.
As of Wednesday, Biden appeared to be ahead of Trump in the election, and legal experts said if he secures 270 electoral votes without needing Pennsylvania, the likelihood of a legal fight in that state diminishes in any case.
Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum is urging municipal councils and non-governmental organizations to join the Stronger Together Job Support Scheme. Said Qayyum says some of these organizations carry out a lot of work, and it's only fitting that they employ Fijians in need of a job. He says with government providing the minimum wage of $2.68 per hour for all new positions, there's potential for such institutions.
I still think there's a lot of organizations, a lot of NGOs that can actually, be part of this scheme too. They do a lot of work, some of them, not all of them, and they can be part of the scheme, and other people in the private sector. Municipal councils, of course, can do that. Today we don't have any municipal councils. I don't think we've got any requests from municipal councils, but I'd like to urge them to, the administrators. There's a lot of work that can be done at that level.
About $28 million has been approved in concessional loans to micro, small and medium enterprises. Minister for Commerce and Trade, Fayaz Koya, says over 90% of the applications have been processed so far. While touring Lambasa, Koya says the loans have allowed many small businesses to survive through the pandemic, with the hope that things will normalize soon.
We've approved about $5 million of those loans for the Northern Division, and we'll be visiting some of the recipients tomorrow.
The minister continues to his tour of Onolevu with Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum. A 28-year-old man is being investigated for allegedly attempting to break into a car in Suva between 11 last night and 4 this morning. He was among the 12 arrested for breaching curfew over the past few days. Between 11 p.m. Monday and 4 a.m. Tuesday, 6 cases were recorded. 2 men were arrested drunk sitting at a bus stop along the Waisali Highway in Savusavu, while 2 men were arrested drunk in Singatoka and Nakasi. From 11 p.m. Tuesday and 4 a.m. Wednesday, 5 reports were recorded in the Southern Division. 3 men were arrested drunk in Samambula and Nasinu, while 2 men were moving around during curfew hours without any valid reason. The COVID-19 pandemic has taught businesses how to address customers' new needs and build stronger customer relations. Local Government Minister Pramila Kumar made the observation at the Total Fiji Innovation Day in Suva this morning. Kumar says innovation is needed now more than ever, as witnessed by new business models that have emerged due to COVID-19 rather. She says Total Fiji has been at the front runner in innovation.
COVID-19 pandemic continues to have a significant impact on everything from consumer behavior to business operations. I understand Total emphasizes innovation in 3 areas: innovative services, innovative processes, and innovative development. My ministry have also been tasked with creating or ensuring innovation across all these 3 areas. And innovation means starting from the standpoint of the customer, that is, from the user experience.
Up ahead, no pressure for Delta Tigers.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Rio Football head coach Marika Rondo says it's important not to put pressure on the players as they head into the last round of the Vodafone Premier League. With only 3 days to go and pressure building up, Rondo says how they approach and manage the game will be a key factor.
We need to enjoy the game and take the pressure, play with the pressure, and just have fun. We don't want to overthink about the game. We don't want to over-concentrate. But as long as we can keep and maintain the arousal level in the players, I think we'll be in a good space to take on Lotoka.
The Delta Tigers will need to score 8 goals against Lotoka and hope Suva loses to Nandi to win the league title. The vacant World Boxing Foundation Asia Pacific Super Welterweight title will be on the line next weekend at Prince Charles Park in Nandi. Fiji's welterweight champion Ronald the Terminator Naidu will take on Chese the Hitman Rawundi. Rawundi is predicting he will knock the champion out. Aquila Dama has the details.
Focusing on his next battle, Rawundi, who lost on points to Ronald Naidu last year, believes next week's result will be different.
Oh, he can talk a lot on his behalf, but inside of the ring is going to be him and me. And right now I'm focused on him, and I'm going to go, if I'm going to leave it for the judge, I believe he's not going to come my way, so I'm just going to knock him out so I can close his mouth on next week's program.
Stepping up his preparations, the son of former heavyweight champion Joe Rawundi says he is ready.
I'm really confident and I'm fit than ever. I'm strong, I'm back in shape, and I can't wait for the fight next week.
Meanwhile, organizers are now assuring fans that the program will finish on time.
Everything will be scheduled on time. As you see on the posters, it's been displayed, and we will stick to the time frame. And likewise, the main bout will start at 8:30 p.m. and we make sure that everybody leaves the ground at 9:30 p.m. and to comply with the curfew
The Kiran Boxing Promotions WBF program will be held at Prince Charles Park in Nandi next Saturday. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
Expect increasing showers in the east and interior of the main islands later in the day. There's also a chance of thunderstorms and occasional heavy downpour. That's FBC News now. Join us again at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. You need news you can trust. Get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj, keeping Fijians connected with the truth. Enjoy your lunch.
Bula FM, number 2 and
Bula FM, number 2 and seri.